My name is Dustin Evans from Team Losi Racing, and here at the Spectrum Off-Road Champs debuting the new Team Losi Racing 22.
My name is Matt Chambers. I race for Team Losi Racing, and this is the new 22 buggy. It's a 10 scale platform, brand new design from Team Losi.
So the new 22, I mean, everything's completely different, complete ground up project. Some of the biggest things that a lot of people are going to notice is big bore 12mm shocks. Old shocks were 10 mil. Bigger diameter ball studs. The whole car is metric. New front arms with kick up in them. Beefy front tower. The car is extremely narrow, aluminum chassis with it places all the weight at the lowest possible point, because I mean, with all the new lipo technologies, we've been adding a lot of weight to the cars anyway, so what better place to have the weight than as low as possible. Everything is perfectly centered down the middle of the car. With the brushless motor, they've been typically a little bit longer and stuff. The motor's perfectly centered down the center of the car. With Dyno, who designed this car, one of his biggest things was to make a strong two-wheel car that isn't fragile as all the other stuff. So everything is extremely strong on the car, and in testing and stuff, there's been minimal to any braking at all.
Some of my first impressions driving the vehicle, I noticed right away that it's incredibly stable. The steering is very, very smooth. Normally, like, cars have a bit of a twitch off center, like right as you have put some wheel input in, and this car is very, very smooth until you get about mid-steer, and then it'll really want to steer more. So it's really nice. You can go into a high-speed section, steer in slow, and it'll just follow exactly where you want to go.
With only 3 weeks with the car right now, we're currently running it as a rear motor, that always seems to be the best for like American style tracks and most consistent. Some of the engineers over in Europe have been testing it as a mid-motor and said the car's awesome. I'm sure that's something we're going to work with down the line once we really get the car figured out and try it in certain circumstances and stuff. But right now we're just really concentrating on the rear motor and developing a setup and getting the car as good as we can with what we have at the moment.
Some other things, it jumps and lands awesome thanks to the 12mm shocks. I've taken it off some jumps and landed far past the downside, and it's handled it. It's been fine. It sticks very well. Another big characteristic is the car is very precise. It handles really, really well as far as being able to put the car in position that you want it to. There's no second guessing where you're at on the track. It always handles very well. It's very predictable.
One of the things with the 222 also is extremely narrow chassis. Everything is located right down the center of the car. Everything is perfectly centered, so the car has a perfect weight balance from left to right. The car is a lot longer, 12mm longer than our previous car. It is a max length for roar. A lot of people are like, oh, it's going to make it push, but with the way that steering and everything's built into the car has a lot of steering, and then the long chassis just makes the car really stable, jump awesome. So I mean, that's what makes it really easy to drive, is the stability, but it has a lot of steering with it at the same time.
I think the average racer is going to notice that the vehicle is very easy to drive, especially certain aspects of it, acceleration and braking. The vehicle is very predictable as far as that's concerned. Again, the shocks make it very easy to drive, very easy to jump. It's honestly one of the easiest handling two-wheel drive vehicles I have ever come across. It's very user-friendly, I would say. You really don't have to drive the car as hard as you think you do. It'll really kind of do its own thing. You just got to follow along, so it works pretty well.